Nice sigh, Andy. I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good.
I
Enjoy that
liked
honky
it.
tonk.
I did enjoy it, Ronnie. I'm actually going to evaluate its power.
Do you have a machine?
No, I can do it using me lugs and that.
Using an assessment
I would
method.
say that sigh had enough power to ripple the surface of some pancake batter, yeah?
Ooh.
But not enough to raise the brim of a static trilby, right?
Right, yeah.
So I'm going to award that sigh
Yep.
7 farts and a dancing Gary. And that's a decent sigh.
You know
Well done,
what?
you.
That's all I could hope for, because if I knew I was going to be assessed, I probably would have tried harder.
Yeah, well...
And maybe as I will next week. Anyway, here we are, Athletico Mince, the UK's top horse-drawn podcast.
It's horse-drawn this week,
horse-drawn this week.
Clippity-clop, clippity-clop.
Exactly, and you're looking well, Bob.
Thank you.
Have you been working out?
I've been working outside, yeah.
Working outside, what? Doing the
when
drains?
I say working outside, I went outside and I had a wee in the drains, actually, yeah.
So that's not really working out, is it?
We haven't sorted your name out yet. I've got some on offer, Ronnie.
Let's have them.
Brent Hosepipe, Well Done Edward, Mr Cupcake, or Donny Romance. Or, of course, you can always stick with Ronnie Hot Dog.
Well, Donny Romance sounds a bit like Donald Love, the Sunderland player.
So you're going to take it?
Donald Love. No, I'll go for what was the second one?
Well Done Edward.
Yeah, I'll have that.
All right, well done, Edward. I'm going to be rude, as I always am, and say, look, I left last week's podcast, I left Casper lifeless on a kitchen surface, having been booted by the fat lass.
I would have left that till the end today.
Would you? Well,
Make them wait.
Well, I'm just going to say, do you want your update? Can I just say, for people, that it's 50-50, but you want the full story later?
Let's have it now. Let's put people out of their misery.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Well, good and bad
right.
news. He's alive, but he's in a critical condition. I've just got off the phone from my source at the veterinary hospital where he's being treated, right?
Yep.
So let's go back to last week's events. Yeah, we left him on the kitchen surface just as the fat lass was going into a spasm or a fit.
Yeah,
after
and she
booting him.
booted him across the floor, didn't she?
Right, well, she managed to shout, "Steve, help me!" So, of course, Steve runs into the kitchen, assuming she shit her knickers, and wants him to wipe her with the dirty dishcloth, yeah? He immediately sees she's fully clothed in a toweling and that, and struggling with her balance, so he puts his arms around her. "It's all right, love, calm down. It's just one of them, one of your daft fits because of your haemoglobin content,
Yeah.
Have a seat, I'll get you a glass of salted water, bring your blood pressure up and a sugar lump in case it's hypoglycemia." He's really good, he's really calm, Steve.
He's a very caring man, isn't he?
Yeah, so he sits her
That
down.
comes across in his management style, I think.
Yeah, he's got a hair island.
He's an arm around the shoulder manager instead of a hairdryer manager.
Exactly. So she sits down, she's dribbling a bit and he's not thinking because he's got it in his hand. He wipes her mouth with the dirty dishcloth. Yeah, I know. Leaves a little bit of cack on her lips, but she doesn't
Jesus.
see. Well, I'm just saying what people want to know what happened, but Steve does notice something. He notices the lifeless Casper on the kitchen surface, yeah? Now, immediately he knows that's unusual because Casper isn't allowed on the kitchen surfaces because of his spewing and that, yeah? And let's be honest, Danny, he can't climb up, can he? Unless the fat lass has got her bandages and leggings and that drying on the clothes horse in front of the
slither
cabinet.
up there.
He can get up them, yeah. So he goes over. "What are you doing up there, Casper, you silly plonker, Rodney?" And he picks him up, but he's colder than he should be. And he's not moving at all, just like a dead weight,
God.
Casper, what's happened? Oh my God, Casper. He puts his ear to Casper's chest, right? Because he thinks maybe he can hear a heartbeat. But it's really difficult because the fat lass's foot is twitching and kicking the baking trays that are slotted in a gap between the cabinets. Yeah?
Very distracting.
Ding, 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 ding. And she's got Chris Evans on the radio who's making like monkey noises.
That's just distracting as well, isn't it?
Yeah, something to
No
do
one
with
needs that.
Wednesday Wacky Wildlife Club he does or something. So Steve's beginning to cry. He realises there's something really wrong here. All he can think to do is, because he's get cold, is to run him under the hot tap, yeah? See if that helps. Turns the hot tap on. As soon as he turns it on, he realises it's far too hot.
Is it one of them boiler taps?
No, it's not a boiler
Thank
tap.
God for that.
But the fat lass has been washing her bandages. Yeah?
Right.
So it's really running hot. "Sorry, Casper, I'm sorry. But he swears he saw a tiny little movement around his neck, like a little swallow.
Yeah.
"Casper, you're alive," he shouts. "Hang on in there and I'll get you to hospital." He wraps Casper around his neck and he shakes Fat Lass. Love, I've got to take Casper to the hospital. Where are the car keys? But she's not responding, yeah? Not at all, just keeps on kicking the bacon trays. So he looks for his keys, can't find them. He's like, fuck it, he thinks, I'll take the clown's car. Remember, he started the clown's...
That never goes out.
No, he says, I'll have to take the clown...
It never even gets out the garage.
Got to take the clown's car. Typical circus clown's car, like slightly square wheels, yellow...
Yeah.
And red, bright colours.
Big horn on the front.
Yeah, so he honks the horn all the way down. The vet's about a mile away, honks it all out. Ha, 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 ha. Casper's not well. Ha, ha, ha. Out the way, Casper's not well. And all the people on the pavement are singing as he goes by. As he goes by, they're saying, he's got a hair island. Right. So anyway, then his steering wheel comes off at the lights, puts it back in. Smoking out of the arse end of the car. When he arrives at the vet's, doors fall off. Steve hardly notices. He rushes in. He plonks Casper down on reception. Yeah? And he says, please help me. Something's wrong. I've just found him like this on the kitchen surface next to the Home Pride plain flower jar. Well,
that was information he didn't need to give.
But he's panicking. He just thought it might help somehow.
Just shouting out aloud.
And the vet's at reception, and vet immediately picks him up. As he does so, Andy, little bit of spew dribbles out of Casper's
mouth. A sign
mouth.
of life.
Steve can't help but put a big smile on. That's my Casper. Come on, Casper, you got to fight. Yeah? Vet takes him straight into his surgery with the nurse. And as they do, the vet says over his shoulder, looks like he's been kicked or hit with something blunt. He's bleeding. Steve realises under his breath, he says, you bastard. You large bastard. See, Steve's put two and two together.
Yeah. Because she was kicking.
Yeah, he knows.
Back in the kitchen, wasn't she?
He knows what's happened, and I'll tell you next week what happens, because that's a slightly separate story, but it all goes off between them. But as we speak, he's under supervision in intensive care, basically soft tissue trauma, internal bleeding, and a burst internal abscess as well.
Have they scanned him then?
Yeah. Listeners, Andy, it's basically 50-50.
This reminds me of 1981 when Roy Race of Roy of the Rovers got shot.
Really?
And they dragged that out for a few weeks as well.
So I've got that out of the way. We can crack on.
Well, I'm pleased because everyone's going to be really worried about that. And
fingers crossed.
We're not, we're not at the end of the story yet, are we? We're not out of the tunnel.
I don't like the sound.
It's catastrophe piled upon disaster, piled upon trauma.
Yeah,
but,
I don't like the sound of that internal abscess, Andy.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
The antibiotic technology for reptiles isn't great,
It's not.
That's his problem. He's on a drip.
I'd have thought that Tim Peake might have come back from outer space with something.
But
he's offered nothing in the way of reptile treatment.
I phoned him up because I was worried. I said, all right, Tim, have you got out for snakes? He says, nothing. Didn't get anything.
Who is this? Because he's having time off now, isn't he? He's not
do you know
really
what
bothered.
A biscotti is, Andy?
I do actually, yes.
What is a biscotti?
It's an Italian biscuit.
What's the purpose of this Italian biscuit?
You can dip it in a jar of Dolmio.
Okay, wait, no, you do. It's almond flavoured.
Aye, and?
Yeah. Is it a biscuit you could eat without dipping?
If you were desperate.
Yeah.
If you were starving to death, you were trapped in a mine or something.
So Andy Dawson, the authentic voice of the working class Sunderland dockside, right? He knows what a biscotti is. Makes me sick.
Slid that in, didn't you?
Okay, over to you. Go on.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a quick yes or no.
Thank you.
3 questions, yes or no.
I don't understand these, Andy, but I'll do it.
Just do it, will you?
Yep.
Makes me happy. Right, apes, yes or no?
No.
Grapes.
Yes.
Shapes.
Big yes.
1 out of 3.
I'll never know. Okay.
But the thing about that is, you cannot. If it was 2 out of 3, you'd know that at least one of them was definitely right and which one it would be. But you got 1 out of 3. Maybe you'll try harder next week instead of just laughing it off.
What's your main?
It like a sideshow.
I don't understand it. What's your main sudden food craving? Like for me, I'll just say suddenly I'll go, I need cheese on toast. Suddenly I'll go, I need a bird's eye boil in the bag beef with potato, a pickled onion. Hey, or an omnium, I suppose we should call them this week, the pickled onion. And what's your, sudden food craving?
Half a box of Ritz crackers and a can of Lilt.
That you really like that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that gets me, just a pack of crisps followed by a Calippo. I really like that, an orange Calippo. Don't crave
What kind of crisps?
Just plain, ready salted.
Bit dull, isn't it?
But yeah, but it's a very good combination. Have you ever been to Peterborough on your own?
No, I've stopped. Well, I've passed through it on the train.
On your own?
But it looks quite a fearful place.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's probably a nice place. I've never been on my own though.
No. Who do you go with? Who do you go with usually?
I usually go with one of my children.
Right.
I say, come on lads, get out of bed.
It's not really fair on them, is it?
You put your Call of Duty down. We're going to have a day in Peterborough.
Oh, whole day?
Yeah, well, it takes 2 hours, 3 hours to
what is
get
it to do there? It takes a day.
It's got a big church.
Yep.
It's got a drive-through Starbucks next to a drive-through KFC. Not bad, that, is it?
All needs catered for there.
Yeah. It's. Have you ever damaged your phone, Andy, in unusual circumstances?
Are these the wife's questions? Or are these just...
They can be if you want.
Let's pretend they are, yeah.
I just can't... over to you.
Have I ever damaged my phone in unusual circumstances?
Yes, for example, it's fallen into a lizard or it's melted during prayer, something like that.
No, not damaged as such. Got lost. I got lost in a Dodgem car once.
Nice.
And when I got home, I just rang the phone and the fella who'd found it arranged to return it to me. And I gave him 20 quid.
Was he a member of staff or a punter?
Just a punter.
You're lucky it wasn't a member of staff, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be racist or anything, but, no chance. Would you like to denounce anybody at this point?
No, but I'd like to hear who you're denouncing.
I'd like to denounce Abta.
Just tell me a little bit about Abta.
Abta, well, apparently they're the Association of British Travel Agents.
Right.
But I tell you this, you've got to have a good route around on their website to find out what they represent, what they stand for. What the initials stand for.
Oh, right.
Front page just says Abta.
Yeah.
And then they just refer to themselves as Abta. You've got to go into the Who Are We section.
Yeah.
And then About Us.
Yeah.
Our History.
Yeah.
1950s or whatever it was when they were set up. Then it tells you that it's the Association of British Travel Agents.
So that's your only beef?
Hang on.
All right.
Their code of conduct looks like it was written on the back of a fag packet.
Yeah.
Riddled with inconsistencies. It's vague, it's flaky. Now, I don't know who's running this Abta thing. I reckon it's a couple of fellas just in a flat above a chip shop.
That's probably their initials, really. It's probably Alan Benson.
Alan Benson and Terry Alderton.
Terry Alderton, something like that.
Have you had any dealings with them?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not feeling any anger towards them. You've said that you criticise them for having an About Us and a history.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got to really look for it.
Oh, well, could you give a toss what their history?
It needs to be on the front. It needs to be on the front page of the website.
What do BAFTA stand for?
Good quality film and TV.
Well, exactly. But you'd want a BAFTA, wouldn't you? Even though you don't know what it stands for.
Yeah, fair enough.
Honestly, I mean...
I wish you'd support me in some of this stuff when I'm denouncing things.
Hey, I tell you, he's somewhat interesting. Do you know me Gregg Wallace cardigan?
Yeah.
I went into my back kitchen, and picked it up. It was on the floor for washing. Absolutely riddled with moths. I had to throw it out.
Get lost.
I won't get lost. I refuse to. Honestly, it's hard to throw it out.
Well,
imagine that and put it in the bin. Got a moth infestation in my back kitchen.
Just in the cardigan?
No, that was. I mean, it's wool.
So that's what they homed in on.
They like natural fibres and that. So funnily enough, there was a lot on me Gregg Wallace cardigan.
Yeah.
There was a lot on a rug I have under my darts board because it's like a sheepskin rug.
Yeah.
And a lot under the bag that I put my cat litter in. God knows why they like it down there. So, I mean, I've got rid of them now, Andy. But the Gregg Wallace cardigan fell in battle.
Are you going to get another one?
Yeah. But that was a nice one, wasn't it?
It's your signature look, isn't it?
Well, it's the concealed zip, Andy. So I can go down Marks and Spencer's, BHS, and get one where you can see the zip, or a button one.
Yeah.
But it's that beautiful concealed zip, and I ain't paying more than 40
It's
quid.
that feeling of getting one over a stranger, isn't it, who thinks you're wearing a jumper. When you know there's a zip there.
Yeah.
Concealed.
Great big fat smile on my face. Yeah, and a nice tight ass. Have you seen Corbyn again this week?
I have, yeah. I've been off to another Labour leadership debate.
Are you stalking him?
No, I'm just interested in politics.
I know you are, yeah.
So this was Nottingham yesterday, the latest Labour leadership hustings,
Where
as
was
they
it?
call it. I don't know what a husting is, do you?
I have no idea.
So this was Nottingham.
I know what a rustling is.
No, that's a different thing. This was Nottingham.
What's the venue? You know I like these details.
It was the county ground, Nottingham County's
the cricket
ground. No, the football stadium.
Oh, Notts County.
Nottingham
I've never
County.
heard them called Nottingham County.
And it was.
I am the linesman for Notts County.
Outdoors. I think they had Rihanna on there last week, so they just kept the stage up.
Yeah,
and they've had Corbyn and Smith. So I got in early, got right down the front, wearing lots of red. Wanting to spur the lads on. Yeah. Remind them of what it's all about. A little bit more
detail. You mean red tie, red top, red hat?
Red tie, red shirt, red trousers, red hat.
Did you fuck?
And some lovely lipstick.
All right, so you're down the front.
So I'm right down the front there. There's obviously I got recognised from this. There's people singing, get your tits out, get your tits out, get your tits out for the jazz.
Yeah.
Get your tits out for the jazz, and shouting, yeah, you could fry a whole box of eggs on them fun bags.
Yeah.
Not very nice, but So anyway, Corbyn comes on first, does his opening statement. He does a tight, topical 10 minutes about the Olympics, lottery funding for sport, how it's a tax on the poor, and how he's going to make Team GB compete in vest and pants, in the future when he's Prime Minister.
So hold on a minute. Well. When he's Prime Minister, the British athletics team will compete in...
just white vest and grey pants.
That's not a bad idea, is it?
Keeps the funding down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Spread the money, the lottery money among the poor who've paid for it in the first place. Then he did an acoustic version of Part of the Union, went off for the break. So I went outside for a fag because I was gasping for one. Went round the back again for a bit of privacy from the Tits Out Brigade. So I'm there having a tab, minding my own business. Out comes Corbyn with his pipe.
Yeah.
Quite a mild tobacco this week. Smelled like a Basma.
I don't know Basma.
No, you don't know Basma. It's a great one.
It's a great one.
Nice, quite a mellow sort of smell.
Quite
so anyway, I'm standing next to him, looks across, he says, seen you. So says, seen you. Shall I do the voice? Shall I do his voice?
I wouldn't know how he spoke, so do.
I'll try the voice. He goes, seen you in there. I'll say, I've seen you in there. You reckon you're the bee's knees, don't you? I mean, I do. So, fair enough. I says,
that's fair enough.
Yeah, a bit, yeah. He says, what's the fastest you've ever climbed a tree? So I'm not really sure. I'm not at comfortable heights. Yeah. So I don't climb that many trees. I don't get petrified. Yeah. I get a bit unsettled.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, perfectly natural. So I tell them this, and I says, not really a fan of climbing trees. He throws his head back and he says, thought that might be your Achilles heel. So what's the fastest you've ever climbed a tree then? I don't know, a couple of minutes. I'm careful, belt and braces. He says, I see. Ask me mine. Go on, ask me my fastest. I says, all right, what's the fastest you've ever climbed a tree? He goes, 3 seconds.
Shit.
3 fucking seconds.
Fucking seconds.
Wow, And then, when I got to the top, I jumped straight off. Straight down onto the grass. Stunned by this, because he's wiry.
Yeah.
He's an old fella, but he's wiry. Not an ounce of fat on him. Certainly no noticeable sign of any, tits, like on me. So I says, that's amazing, 3 seconds.
He's quick.
He says, yeah, it is, isn't it? Heads back towards the door, back to do the second part of his hustings. So just before he gets back inside, he turns around and he shouts, it was a bonsai tree, you fucking knobend. You know what I mean?
Right, I don't think he likes you,
Is that the kind of man we want as our next Prime Minister?
Well, I don't know. Well, what, a man with a sense of humour?
You think that's funny?
Well, a man who'll stand up to bullies like you.
You think it's funny?
It's not. Well, I mean, it wasn't that good because, you can't climb. Bonsai's too small to climb, innit? And so 3 seconds.
Well, that's what I would have said, but he'd gone by then.
Right.
I didn't stay for the next bit. I just went home.
He should have said it was, I don't know, a little bamboo. I don't know. I don't know what to say, Andy.
Well, just think carefully before you vote at the next election.
Well, he's got a right little strappy fella, though, isn't he?
I think it's me. Just doesn't like me.
Yeah. No, it could be you, Andy. It really, really could. The alderman, you want to hear about him?
Yeah.
Do you want the wife's questions?
Oh, they've got them as well.
Oh, no, we'll say the Peterborough one and the... I'll give you one from the wife. It's just...
Go on, then.
How much pocket money do you get every week?
£3.50.
£3.50.
Yeah.
Do you spend it once or spread it over the week?
I tend to save it up because I like to buy a CD now and again.
Yeah.
I like the CDs.
Yeah.
I like the music.
Fair enough.
So in 2.5 weeks, really, to save up for a CD these days.
I get mine on Fridays. When do you get yours?
Or Fridays as well. Friday tea time.
Friday tea time, I get mine. I've got to be honest with you, I just blow it.
How much do you get?
I get a tenner. Yeah, not bad, is it?
That's the south for you.
I go straight down, I get a copy of Shoot.
Well, you're older than me, so you get more.
That's fair enough, and it goes up 50p, doesn't it? Or 20p every year. No, I tend to blow it. Get myself, I know, a pack of Whatsits. I love a crunchy on a Friday. Sometimes I get a yoghurt as well.
Do you?
I get a yoghurt, box of matches.
It's false economy, that, you know. You should be buying all this stuff in multi-packs.
Well, I only got a tenner. And
you can get 8 bags of Whatsits for £1 at the minute.
I know, and it just doesn't feel... That feels like a shop, like a adult, serious shop. I like just... I go open-arsed, no idea, into my local 7-Eleven style one. I think it's a Londis. I do. I think. I go in the Londis and just like say, I fancy that. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
You daft twat.
Thank you.
They must be laughing their fucking heads off at you.
Well, it's keeping them afloat. They've been down the bank and they've said, look, Mr. Pearson, we guaranteed we get a tenner every Friday, so we can put that towards the debt, you know what I mean?
Pearson's a prick, isn't he? Down at the bank.
I don't know if you remember, but last week the alderman had a strop on with me after I kissed Kenny Pepper's corpse at his funeral. Well, the way back in with the alderman, Andy, right, is always through his charity, yeah? It's just his weak
It's his soft underbelly, isn't it?
Yeah, always the charity, you know, when he runs for the daft kids and the parents. Yeah. So I wrote to him, sort of formally, in a formal way, offering to come up to Stockton and compare a variety show at the social club, like to raise money to get PlayStations, trumpets, hammers, that sort of thing for the kids.
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
What's the best Squeeze album?
Play.
It's not some fantastic place. Carry on.
So, PlayStations, trumpets, hammers, that sort of thing for the kids to keep them happy, when the parents are arguing.
Yeah.
So he bit immediately. He was quite formal. Yes, Robert, the town clerk will pick you up from Darlington station at 5:30 in the council minibus. But there was no hint. It was very businesslike.
Yeah.
I went up there, got there early. I like to get there a bit early if I'm doing a show. I'm just comparing there. There was 4 acts on. Hong Kong Ping Pong, the first act's called. It's a Chinese bloke who does tricks with ping pong balls, right? He throws them up, lands them on his nose. He does it like he crouches down and farts them round a train track, that sort of thing, you know. Bit of a racist, and he hates white people.
Oh.
Yeah, he blames them for VD. Don't know why. Puff's stepdad, I know it's corny, but he's like a white rapper from up north.
Puff's stepdad?
Puff's stepdad, that's sad, isn't it? That's what he's quite popular. He's a bit like Freddie Starr, but he raps his jokes to slowed down 80s disco tracks.
Yeah.
Here though, they say he's got £1 million stashed down an old mine somewhere. That's his,
Is that true?
That's the route. Fuck knows.
God.
Jocelyn Shapiro's on as well. She used to be a stripper. But now, it's a good actress, Andy. She does sweary number songs from the musicals.
Right.
She dresses as a bride.
Swears through them.
Yeah, so she goes the Phantom of the Opera's a fucking dickhead. That sort of thing. Why are there so many songs about wankers?
Yeah.
And they're really sweary. So you wanna be a wanker? It's a good fun act.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit rude, but it's good fun act. And Brian
family
Sharp.
stuff.
Brian Sharp, he's a traditional observation comedian. I hadn't seen him before. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Get some tips from me, Observation Comedy. And House Band, up there's always a fire brigade. They're all ex-firefighters or associated with firefighting, fire industry.
Yeah.
I wait in my room. I think I'm going on a bit. I'm sorry, Andy.
No, it's gripping.
I know it isn't. I'm waiting in my room, just on my own, thinking, he's not going to come, the alderman. The vicar came in, the one with the twitch who smells like bleach, asked if he could have a Todd in my shitter, but I let him. But there's no sign of the alderman. Show starts. I do my normal few jokes at the top, not a single laugh, nothing, silence, really hard crowd.
Bit of an atmosphere there.
So I introduced Hong Kong Ping Pong, little Chinese fella, he got a little beer belly and that. As I passed him coming on the stage, actually, he whispered at me, "You white trash prick germ bollocks idiot." That's not very nice, is it?
Now you see, if that was you, roles were reversed and you were saying something to him about...
"You white trash prick germ bollocks idiot." That's what he said. His turn was really good though. At one point, he stood up, think of this, Andy, and he balanced on a single ping pong, right? And then, they spit the balls out.
Yeah.
Spit the balls out straight into a bucket of soapy water. All the while, I promise you, whilst he was eating a pork chop.
Why has he not been on Britain's Got Talent yet?
Yeah, because of the racism, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Then I introduced Brian Sharp, yeah? The Observational Comedy. I stand at the bar to watch. Big bloke, shades, like woolly hair.
Yeah.
Eddie Large kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Starts up. Hey, have you ever noticed people would rather rip their hands to shreds carrying 10 carrier bags into the house than make 2 journeys to the car? Right, everyone laughs because it's true.
Yeah.
You know, but I see a chance and I shout out, yeah, and avoid putting too much pressure on the brass hand.
You did it in your voice.
Fucking silence.
Like that.
Yeah. Oh, fuck shit. Anyway, he carries on. Have you ever noticed that hotel showers are next to useless when it comes to temperature regulation and thermostat sensitivity? Everyone laughs their heads off. You know, because what with it being true and that.
Absolutely.
And
universal,
I think surely he's missed a trick, so I shout out, yeah, and your brass hand sticks to the shower curtain. Fucking silence. Oh, you're honest,
hey, your brass hand stuff's not travelling, is it?
It ain't. I'm thinking, oh, God, anyway. Do you remember, he says, do you remember Ajax scouring powder? You could shift foxtrot off a chainsaw with that stuff. Do you remember it? They laughed their fucking heads off again. And it is funny because I even recall that it was a very good scouring powder. Yeah, and it's no longer available.
Yeah.
I'll give it a final go. Hey, and I often used to get fox shit on my brass hand. Nothing. Absolute silence. I'm really upset. I go outside at half time for a puff on my crack pipe. Brian Sharp comes out. I apologise. I'm sorry, Brian, interrupting your act like that and everything. And he says, Do you remember? Then his voice changes. Robert, do you remember? When it was only me you wanted to kiss, Robert? Took his shades, wig off. It's a fucking alderman.
Oh, God.
He says, I told them not to laugh at Robert, to teach you a lesson, Robert, about having your feelings hurt, Robert. Well, I'm a bit angry, but a bit relieved because, it wasn't to do with me set being bad, and he doesn't seem that mad with me.
Yeah.
Comes over, rubs me tummy, then takes me inside onto the stage. Whole audience are waiting for me, about 300, and they're all chanting, kiss the alderman, kiss the alderman, kiss the alderman. Fire brigade band, the drummer, he's actually fire safety officer at South Tees Hospital. He starts up a drum roll. Alderman comes towards me, bang! He plants like a full unfolded lip kiss right on my lips, then withdraws his lips like really slowly so they kind of stick together and then released. It's a superb kiss, Andy.
Yeah.
It really was. Anyway, sorry,
I'm just not fair.
I know, I'm so
No, not with boredom, with arousal.
I know what you mean. It was a lovely kiss. Rest of the night went great. We raised nearly £1,000 for the Dozy kids. All's well, ends well.
Sorry, and you've learned a lesson.
I've learned a lesson.
Haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Very good.
So
Can I do a little bit of observational comedy?
Yeah, love you too.
I've been, trying to hone my act again this week.
Yeah.
Listen! You'll never believe what I saw in the train station earlier. A penis! An actual penis! He was just sat there playing one of those pianos they have in train stations nowadays. Penis!
Oh, it's penis. Like penis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
drop it.
it's complicated, isn't it?
Drop it. It's a world place. More Noel Edmonds' house party, isn't it, really? Yeah.
Right, I will.
Listen! Please listen! I'll tell you what you don't say much of these days. Chernobyl. Do you remember Chernobyl from the 1980s? Always on the news it was. Now though, nothing.
I like that a lot.
Almost like it got wiped off the map.
I like it a lot. And I like that little, I'm going to call it foxtail. I call it, have you put a foxtail on it?
Yeah.
Because I know what you're getting at with the
map thing.
Yeah, nice.
Right, here we go. The topical one here, sport one as well.
Listen, man. What's the deal with Usain Bolt? He's like a motorbike, but he wears a vest. I don't get it. Do you get it? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
No. Does it not work? It's a joke.
It's not do you remember?
Well, he's like a motorbike. It's like, what's the deal with?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What's it about?
What's that
the nuts
about?
And bolts. Yeah, he's fast like a motorbike, but he wears a vest. unlike a motorbike.
Is that observational comedy, though?
Well, it's an observation about Usain Bolt, isn't it? I would say it's cast iron.
So, but getting to its bones, it's like, I've noticed...
Yeah, so it's observational.
...that he's as fast as a motorbike, but he wears a vest. Yeah. So you're trying to say, like, sometimes I think it is a motorbike.
It's like watching a motorbike, but it's got a vest on. But motorbikes don't wear vests.
Do you know, I would leave it, Andy.
All right.
I would leave it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I like that one with the foxtail. Right. Really nice.
I'll keep that one in then.
Really nice joke.
No worries.
I've done some songs. I'm not happy with them. Have you got a song to come in, swoop in and help me?
I've been working on a musical.
Okay, tell me more.
About the life of Gregg Wallace.
What, Gregg Wallace the musical?
Gregg Wallace the musical. Because, you know, Gregg Wallace, he's a talented man, a successful man. He's one of life's winners. Agreed? Your musical's called Gregg Wallace, or is it called MasterChef? Is it like MasterChef the musical? I have no title for it yet, but it's around the...
I mean, I like it. If it's called MasterChef, I think you're honest.
What I wanted to do, with Gregg being the winner that he is, that's not really an interesting story. Obviously, he'll end up being the winner that he is at the end.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to paint him as a kind of a troubled, haunted sort of figure, a bit like the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, nice.
Or the Madness of King George.
Yeah.
So I've got this song. This is like...
And where would this come in the story? Like,
this will be about halfway through. He's started out, he's got to a place in his life where he thinks everything's all right, but there's a few doubts creeping in.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Here we go. You might recognise the tune because I've stolen it from Prefab Sprout.
All right.
I'm Gregg off the TV. I spell it with an extra G. I'm the king of MasterChef. Completely.
Ba, 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 ba.
But it leaves me feeling low. I don't even trust Road. Think he wants to overthrow and destroy me.
Ba, 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 ba.
I eat hot dogs, legs of frogs, but I feel nothing. Hot dogs, roasted hogs, I feel nothing. My new wife's 29, wakes me up at 5:30. I feel like I want to die by tea time. My fans are all impressed. I've got them eating well for less, but my head's a fucking mess. Please help me.
Ba, ba, ba.
I eat hot dogs, drink eggnog, but I feel nothing. Hot dogs, chocolate logs, I feel nothing.
Nothing.
I feel nothing.
Right, so that's him at his low point.
Yeah, and it's going to pick up from there, obviously.
Right, and like conquers the culinary world or something. Be brilliant. I like it, Andy.
Yeah, that's as far as I've got, really, so far.
Thank you. I've enjoyed your company. I've got to go. See ya.
Bye.